Welcome, new future builders, to this week's What If Wednesday as we continue to build our creativity and self awareness so we can build a new future. And so I didn't have a lot of announcement for this one beforehand. There wasn't a lot of promotion, there wasn't a lot of build up. I wasn't sending out Facebook posts, I wasn't promoting things for this because I wasn't sure what I really wanted to talk about today. I wasn't sure. There's been a lot this last couple weeks. And for some, there's been more than others. We as a nation just elected our next president. I rarely get into politics. And so today I'm still going to stay on that level of not getting specifically into politics, but more the principle and really what my concern is overall, not as a man, not as an African American, purely as a human being who wants to see the US be the amazing nation that it can be, and then obviously contribute in a positive manner to us building a new future for here in our community, for here in the nation, and for the world, really. And so that's why I feel the need to be on here and share what I have to share today, because today I want to talk about empathy. I want to talk about how we can really bring our nation together. I mean, I'm not here to point fingers. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to fight. I mean, in a way, it's a fight, right? Let's be real. In a way, it's a fight, and it's a fight against hate. And again, I'm not pointing any fingers because there's hate and there's disgust and there's so many things on both sides, on really every fence and every boundary, on every wall, at every corner. Right? There's so much anger, there's so much bitterness, there's so much frustration, there's so much hatred, there's so much just nastiness. There's things that it makes me ashamed sometimes to, again, not just to look at myself as a man, not just a black man, not just a man that's living here on the East Coast, but just as a human being, not just as an American. Just I feel ashamed as a human being at times because we have so much potential to do great things. We have so much potential to make change. We have so much potential to help people and to unify and to love. Like the amount of love that we all have in us, it's amazing. And so as I talk about empathy, I want us to keep something in mind. The reason that we hate is because we love something. The reason that we fear is because we love something. So as you frame the things that I'm about to share and to say, as we think about empathy, as we think about the things that are important, as we think about how we can truly bring people together, how we can think more critically, how we can be more open, how we can be more accepting, be more patient, be more kind, I want us to keep something in mind. Hate is simply a spectrum on the scale of love. Fear is often something that we have because there's something we're trying to hold on to so dearly because we love it. And so all of us, from those who are spewing words that are easily offensive, to those who are rioting, to those who are even silent, we all have something that we love. So I want us to keep that in mind as we have this discussion, because today I want to talk about the what ifs that can help us be more empathetic. Now, most of us know what empathy means. It's really understanding someone else's point of view, being able to ingest it. I mean, really get it into our belly so that we can truly experience what someone else feels. And so how do you accomplish that? How do you get to that point where you can truly look at someone, see their soul, really look into it as if their whole flesh was transparent? How can we look within? We have to ask ourselves some questions that sometimes may not be so nice. They may not be so clear. They may not be easy. What if? And let's start, right? Let's start. And then again, let me just making sure nobody's here. if you're joining in, I want to thank you for being here. If you have questions, if you have comments, I'll get to those at the end because I really want to deliver this. Let's focus in on some questions, right? And so right now you're hearing some Jack Dempsey again. We're banking this, and I think that's what it is. This is a different tone of conversation. Zach Hempsey, right? This is a different tone of conversation that we got going here. And so, what if you had to be on the other side? So in this election, what if you were voting for the other candidate? Why would you do that? I want you to think about that. Again, it's hard. What if you voting for someone doesn't mean that you support the negative aspects about them? That's a tough thing to think about. What if voting for another person didn't mean that you actually support the negative aspects of them? What if someone else was doing something for good intentions? What if you had to imagine that the other person was doing everything in their power for the true intent, for the true love of their family, for the true love of their community, for the true love of their state, for the true love of their nation, maybe even the true love for the world? What if you had to go at it with that intent and that intensity of thought? What if you could set aside all of the differences and find some things to feel the same about, to enjoy, that you both love? Right? Many of us have differences on how we view the growth of the country and where we want it to go, but ultimately we all love this nation. Ultimately, we all love our families. We all want to love ourselves and where we are in life. What if you were in a place of fear? What if you were in a place of struggle? What if you had to step into that other person's shoes that was going through something? Maybe there was a reason they made the decision. This is just not just about what happened at this election and what's going on currently, what's going on with protesters, with every interaction, any argument, any disagreement, any squabble, any fight. What if you had to put yourself in that person's shoes? You may realize some amazing things. You may realize that person really just was loving something. They were holding on to something. They were ignorant of something. We're all ignorant, right? We're all ignorant. Maybe that person really is a kind person. Maybe they're just caught up in the emotion, caught up in the moment, caught up in the situation, caught up in the issue. What if that person is out of options? We've been there. We felt like we're cornered. What if they've been out of options? What if they made the only choice that they thought they could make? We all lose creativity at some points in time. We all don't watch this series all the time. We all don't have access to information that allows us to expand our mind and our opportunities. What if that person doesn't have that? Again, if I have to bring it to the context of the election, what if that person on that rural area that was in that dying and maybe a outdated industry, something that's getting replaced by technology? That's scary to know that something you were doing, something your whole family is, and your whole city and your community has dedicated your lives to, something that you all have grown up on, something that you've built toward your entire life is now being taken away from you, being drained from you. Your jobs are being lost. Your income is being taken, is being moved into these other areas that are turning themselves elite, right? What if you had to look at it that way? And then vice versa, right? Vice versa. What if you were on the other side, right? What if you had to be afraid? What if you had to live scared that these terms and these words that are being used on such a public and high level could now be possibly accepted in an everyday conversation? What if that had to be you? Again, I don't want to point fingers because everybody's wrong and everybody's right. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's confused. Yet we all have a reason to love something. And when things get crazy and when things go awry, when things go astray, when this country or wherever you are, or any relationship or connection that you have, when things go wrong, it's because we get stuck in the situation. We lose sight of what it really feels like to be someone else. And we lose the most important part of what it means to love. It's one thing to love and be passionate about something, be passionate about your nation, to be passionate about your culture, right? To be passionate about your history and your narrative. But realize that love is a connection. And so when you love in a way that doesn't allow connection, it creates unhealthy situations. It creates unhealthy views. It creates unhealthy squabbles and disagreements and arguments, and it leads to disarray. So what if you had to, this is the ultimate question. This is the ultimate question, and I'll hop off my soapbox. What if you had to love with every thought, every interaction, everything that you did on a daily basis? If you had to do everything point a point of love, how would that change the way you interact? How would that change the way you have conversations? How would that change the way that you help people? How would that change the way that you advocate? How would that change the way that you look at your enemies and your foes? I want you to leave it down in the comments. I want you to share this question. Get out there on social media. There's enough negativity. There's enough people that are struggling. There's enough people that are sad, that are upset, that are hurt, that are full of pain. There's enough of it. So what if you had to love with everything that you did? The way allows you to be is to live a life that is from a place of love. So that's what I got. Share that with your friends, your family, and your foes. I want to thank Dan B for being here live, and any other live viewers that may be lurking. I want to thank you for the time and opportunity to be here and to speak to you and to share. Again, this is not a chance to point fingers. This is not a chance to spread hate. This is a chance for all of us, everywhere, on any side, with any opinion, to find one common ground, is that we all love something. So keep that in mind. Love is the brick that will help you build a foundation. It is the brick that will help you build a foundation that allows you to build a new future. So if you want to join this movement, make sure you hit the subscribe button. As usual, especially today, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace, y'all.